is Hien, and I'm gonna do a video on how to do ICO research, or at least get an idea where all these ICOs are. So ICO countdown is a good one that I use. Also, this is called ICO alerts that you can email on. But here you can then, get a basic timeline schedule of what is going on, as far as what is closing, what's open. All the red ones are closing. They have 20 days left. That one here, and then the blue ones that's 4 days until they open. For thing. All right, so I've kind of, I was kind of new to this, but I'm starting to get the hang of what to look for. So let's say, for example, let's pick one here. I actually have invested in. Actually, I shouldn't say what I've invested in. I'll just say, so if I had invested it in something, what would I do? So let's see here. I'm just gonna look at one that I haven't invested in. So let's say here. So this is Bet King here. So a couple things to kind of notice is kind of you read the article, see what it's all about. It's like, okay, it's about betting, and think about the market. Do they have any credibility? Do they have? They say they have been in business before, I believe. The last time I looked at this, and then the pre-sale, what you're gonna be getting. So it's 1,000 pre-sale is a cap 1,000 bitcoins, and token price. What is it? There it is. This buyback price 24. So price per token is there. Okay. So I like to see what that's all about. And so that's a really good thing. And then you get down real low and it becomes like $1. And that's like 1,000 timing your 100 timing your money. Or and as it goes up to $100, that's even more. All right. So pre-sale raised that. Okay. All right. So another thing is, as you go to my Ethereum wallet, let's see here. So let's say you want to go to ICO, and it has not started, so we have to wait till it has opened. Normally, I would like to know what the Bet King coin is all about. So here you go straight to contracts. You actually can bypass a lot of the red tape here for being in certain countries. Just going straight to contracts, and these are all basically ICOs you can look at. So you see Bet King, if it's in there, it'll help. And if it's not, then it hasn't. There isn't like an escrow account. They basically have all the money and they could run away with it. Usually, when it's here, like EOS or whatever, you can actually purchase it. So usually they have a milestone token. They usually have a milestone. Supposedly, I think this is what I've learned is that depending on the milestone here, they will release certain. This is the no, that's not the milestone. Let's see here. Documents, FAQ, tokens, token distribution. Some will have milestones. And supposedly, the idea is that once they hit certain milestones, they will then release the certain funds, like a couple million here, a couple million there. They don't just get it all at once and leave. Okay. So one like Everex, which if you kind of go into it, and let's see, you might see some stuff here. Let me just pull this out to the side first, real quick. It looks like for that, it just goes straight into this website, and you actually don't get the tokens until the sale is over. So you're kind of like, hopefully they give it back to me. For EOS, I was kind of confused about this one. So you purchase it, but you don't get the tokens until this time distribution ends. Once the time distribution ends, then you get your tokens. But that's what you would get. Oh, that's what they received in Ether. Okay. All right, and let's see here. I'm doing a video. Okay, so here, this is the where they said they had joined the ICO keeping the profit. So they've actually made money before, and you can go from there. So what you also want to look for is here. Let's see the roadmap. Ethereum. There's usually like a team that they would have advisors and stuff like that. And if they don't, there is no team that kind of raises some flags for some people. But if it's low enough, I might just throw $100 at it and see what happens. Bet King launches relaunch plus Bet King is back. Pre-sale contribution starts. All right. So what else? Look at another one. BitClave's another one that's a little fishy for me, but I didn't know until I got into it. Um, you kind of go contribute. Let me log in real quick. All right, so I just put a few hundred here, something small. So I got 5 cents for one cat, so you could kind of see. I didn't really put too much in there, and then my withdraw address. So yeah, so basically this isn't in Ethereum; it's just here. And so I don't know if you know I actually have it, and hopefully they give it to me once it's pre-sale is fully okay. It's completed. They're going to be distributed after the crowdfunding campaign concludes. You can leave this field empty until September. So I guess they're still there. I'm not getting my money till September, I guess. So that kind of is weird. And there's no, I don't know if there's a team or not. I think my pre-sale has been completed, but BitClave. About us. Watch our videos. Cat tokens. Upcoming events. Join us. There's the team. So this is kind of important. You kind of want to know and do some research on these people and see who they are and see that they have any credibility here. BitClave, experienced technology leader, entrepreneur, engineering, 20 years software security. Okay, there you go. Enter. So you just kind of know who they are. It makes sense to you, and then it's just I don't really have a thing on whether you go for it or not. Mostly, you know, 2 out of 10 business fail. I mean, 2 out of every 10 businesses succeed. So you kind of see the ratio here. So just throw a little bit here, a little bit there, and you kind of do your best unless you have some kind of personal relationship with these people and you kind of been there and talk to them. But you can kind of like search every single one and say, hey, it looks pretty. They sold me on it. They look pretty credible. Let's go ahead and give them a shot. And I like the project. I like what they're doing. Uh, they're trying to do like this blockchain, so the decentralized search instead of giving money to Google and Facebook for searching. Let's go, you know, let's bypass that and have the customer be, I guess, order from the business. Okay, so kind of bypassing all these guys. So instead, there is to make this little ledger here, and then we get to benefit from that, and Google doesn't get paid. So I like that. It's like a decentralized search um, instead of Google getting all the money, you get to have part of that. Okay. All right, so I like the idea of that, and I went ahead and gave it a shot, and you can watch some of the videos here, see if it makes sense for you.
Aren't you annoyed by all those insistent and irrelevant ads that are
Okay. All right, so far I've probably purchased about 4 or 5 ICOs, and you want to slate like probably 1 or 2 Ethereums for each ICO, a little bit here and there. But once you find something that's pretty good, that's raising lots of money, I think, and you hear a lot from a lot of people recommending it, then you could probably throw a little more. So the one that have thrown a little more on it was like EOS, since it's more like an operating decentralized like operating system for other people to build other apps on. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, so I went ahead and invested in those. And BitClaves seems pretty cool too. Okay, so here's ICO alert. Oh, I've also invested in a few other things too. Let's see here. And you can join now. You get an email alert based on what's going to be released, and you kind of get a little bit better of a calendar here. And then ones that have ended, district, decentralized market communities. So there you go. There's some resources to find some ICOs. Okay, get in early and then sit for a couple months, and then cash out half of it, and take your money out, invest in another ICO, let it grow. Once it hits the exchange, cash out and do it again, and do it over and over and over and over and over. So there's a ton of ICOs coming up August 26th. Um, just wow, this has a much bigger list, of course. Blockchain, decentralized search in September. So this is, I guess, that's when they officially end here. And wow, there's a lot more coming down the pipeline. Token-based investment fund, real estate ownership. So there's all kinds of cool new companies coming out. Okay. All right. Hopefully that helps. It took me a while just to kind of buy my first one. I didn't know how the Ethereum wallet worked, but I had a training on that on one of my other blogs. So check that out, and how to bypass some of the stuff using your HMA to initially get to it if there's some that are blocked. But I've kind of noticed that, I know, I'll update you guys that if they don't show up in here, then there is no escrow account, I think, and they could just take your money anytime because it's not in your wallet. You don't get it right away. You have to wait till the sale ends. Okay, so you're kind of like, hopefully I get paid. So that's one thing. But we'll see after a month if I do get paid and I kind of get more, I can trust it more. Then I wouldn't mind just going straight. Put money into their site and just wait until their sale ends and then get the tokens. So, all right, hope that helps. Thanks.